The world sees you at the moment, Hacjivah, as this star loose forward for the Nicholl Stormers. But here's a kid who grew up in Cape Town, just with his mum. Not the easiest of circumstances, lived with your grandmother. I think there was a stint working as a petrol attendant nights while you were still at school. A lot of challenges to get to where you are today.
Yeah, no, definitely. For me, it's something that I look at, and when I look back, I'm not obviously proud of, and I always try to use my story as to inspire other kids, especially from where I come from, you know. I was born in Cape Town, Joe Slovo. It's a settlement there in Milnerton. Obviously grew up with my mom, and I have 9 siblings. Yeah, they were busy. Yeah, 9 siblings. Obviously from Cape Town, moved to the Eastern Cape, stayed with my grandmother, who was a domestic worker. From there, from the Eastern Cape, moved to Johannesburg. Stayed with my father, who was Jewish, Nigerian Jew, very strict, struggled to play rugby. So obviously from there I moved to hostel. And then obviously rugby, I found rugby 2007. Was playing on SABC 2. There was the World Cup, obviously World Cup, where Brian Banner caught the interception. And I didn't understand rugby. I was just watching on my mom's bed, and I just saw Brian Banner running. And one thing that stood out for me is the way how he scored. He took the ball and he dove. And I remember that obviously when I was watching it, I was like, yo, I want to try that. And never understood the sport. Every time my mom would send me to go buy bread or something, I'll come in flying onto a bed. It was like a small 1-bedroom, and the door used to be open. So we run on a passage, and then you just enter the whole room and you just jump into the bed. And from there, you know, the passion was there. Never understood the sport. When I moved to Eastern Cape, I went to a school because I couldn't speak. I could speak Xhosa, but I wasn't very fluent. And I went to an English school because my grandmother was a domestic worker for one of the people that was part of the school, and they obviously got me into the school. And that's when I started playing rugby. And didn't enjoy it at first, didn't love it. And then eventually grew into me when guys started telling me, listen, you're actually good at this sport. You should try it. You're very fast, you're very this, and trying to convince my dad and trying to convince my parents that rugby is the sport, especially with medical aid being so expensive and so many things. Yeah, I'm here now today. Wow. And yeah, it was a long journey, a very tough one, but I wouldn't change anything because every step of that journey that I've traveled got me here and made me the person I am today.